Hi, I'm Sheri DeMaris and I'm going to teach you some macrobiotic cooking today. We're going to make a dessert that's sugarless and that's so delicious. I'm going to use a variety of milks. One of them is rice milk, another one is almond milk, and if you can't find either of these in your grocer, you can use soy milk. This is a nice brand. It's called Eden Soy, and amasake, which is a fermented rice milk. So we're going to heat these up with a little bit of agar-agar flakes. And agar-agar flakes are a sea vegetable. It's clear. So when it dissolves in the milks, it hardens and becomes like a jello. And once it becomes a jello, we're going to blend it with some nut butters and some sweeteners and a little bit of vanilla and maybe almond flavor. So I'm going to show you a variety of ways to make these parfaits, and once the base is made, we're going to layer them with nuts and fruit. You can use granola, cocoa powder. We also have a rice syrup, a chocolate flavored rice syrup that we like to use, and make it like a sundae and put a little cherry on top. So first step to making this is heating up the rice milks at the stove. So I'm going to come around. So we're going to heat up these two milks with the agar-agar flakes until they dissolve, and it's going to become hardened. So I'm going to heat up the saucepan. I'm going to put a cup of rice milk in the pan. And a cup of amasake. Now amasake you might have a hard time finding in the supermarkets now. It's in local health food stores. It's actually fermented sweet rice. You can make it at home if you buy a little package of koji and heat up the sweet rice and put the koji in overnight. It's a very simple process, but not too many stores carry amasake anymore, so you can use soy milk, you can use oat milk, you can use hemp milk, whatever kind of milk or nut milk that you enjoy. So we're going to put 2 cups of liquid in this pan. And for every cup of liquid, when you want something to harden with agar-agar flakes, you need to use 1 tablespoon per cup of liquid. So we're going to put 2 tablespoons because we put 2 cups of the liquid. Now what's nice is you don't want to stir the flakes in, but you can let them sit on top of the liquid and sort of dissolve. So you want to keep your flame low until the flakes start to dissolve. And that way your cream that we're going to use in the parfait is not gritty. So we have the flame on low, we're slowly dissolving the flakes. As soon as they get dissolved, we're going to stir them just a little bit to finish them dissolving. So once the flakes dissolve, you're going to pour it in a pan and put it in the refrigerator to let it cool. When it cools, it hardens into a jello-like substance. So we already have one that's made here, and this, if you press the top, you can feel that it's real firm. So we're going to use this for our base in the parfait, and then we're going to be real imaginative and add all sorts of really delicious layers to the parfait. Now you can use this for cake icing on vegan cakes. You can use it in on top of fruit. You can use it to garnish a lot of desserts. It's simple, it's sweet, there's no sugar in it, and it's very easy to digest. And we're going to move it over here. And we're going to put it in a blender. So in order to put it in a blender, we just scoop it out. We can see how hard it is. It's like jello. And we're going to put it in piece by piece. And we're going to blend it with some things that are sweet and rich to make the base of our parfait. So I'm going to add the whole container into this nice big blender. Again, you can use any kind of nut milk you want. Just experiment with different tastes and flavors. And the reason why this dessert is so good for you is because it's not a lot of baked flour. There's not a lot of additives or sweeteners. And especially if you're hypoglycemic or diabetic, these sweeteners don't even raise your blood sugar level. So they're really nice. Now, Macrobiotics, we use 3 sweeteners. Maple syrup, which everyone's familiar with, no added sugar. Barley malt, which is cooked down barley, and if you taste it, it looks almost like honey. And all it is cooked down barley. And then rice syrup, which is cooked down rice. So all 3 of these ingredients you can find in your natural food store. We're also going to add a nut butter. Now you can add any kind of nut butter you like. There's cashew butter, there's sunflower butter, there's almond butter, there's peanut butter. Today we're going to add some almond butter. And then we're also going to put some flavoring in. So we have vanilla, we have lemon, we have almond, and we have orange. The reason I'm showing you all these 4 flavors is because you can pick and choose what you like, depending on how you want your parfait to taste. So we put the rice milk amasaki hardened mixture into the blender. We're going to add a teaspoon of almond butter. And this will make the dessert a little bit richer. Then we're going to add a little bit of maple syrup. Now this dessert is really great for kids too because it doesn't create any sort of tooth decay and it doesn't bring up your blood sugar. So if you have family members that are diabetic or hypoglycemic, you don't have to worry about their blood sugar level raising from these desserts. And they're also good if you're trying to lose weight because they don't have a lot of fats and additives to it. So we add a little barley malt. And like I said, be as creative as you want. Just learn the ingredients and how to use them, and you can make your own parfaits according to what you like. And then we're going to add a little bit of rice syrup. And notice I'm not using measurements here. I'm just sort of gauging how sweet I want the dessert. And then we're going to add a little bit of vanilla and some almond flavor. But again, mix and match what you like in the dessert. It'll make a world of difference. So we have, as the base, amasaki and rice milk. We hardened it with agar flakes. We added almond butter, a little maple syrup, some brown rice syrup, and some barley malt, and some almond flavor. And now I'm going to turn on the blender. And just pulse it. Once the mixture is blended, we're going to take the blender off. And we're going to layer it in our parfaits. So when you make a parfait, again, you can make it every different way that you want in terms of fruit, granola, cocoa powder, grain sweetened chocolate chips, whatever you enjoy eating. So each parfait can be different or it can be the same. So I'm going to take some of the parfait mixture. I'm going to add it to the parfait glass first to create a base. And remember, you can make these desserts as sweet as you like, just by simply adding more or less sweetener to the base. And then for the middle layer, I'm going to add, these are just simply cooked pears, cooked in apple cider. You can cook down any kind of fruit that you like. We have cooked down pears, and we also have fresh raspberries. Remember, adding color to your dish is really nice. It makes it more appetizing. So we're going to add the cooked pears. And putting it in a parfait glass, you can see the layers as they move up. And then we're going to add a little bit more of the parfait base. And we're going to put a little bit of chopped walnuts. These are simply just chopped walnuts. I didn't roast them. And we're going to add a few raspberries. Raspberries are always nice with a chocolate flavor. So we're going to put a little chocolate sauce on top after we put another layer of the parfait mixture. And remember, you don't have to layer them in expensive parfait glasses. You can just put them in simple little dessert cups. Okay, so we've got our layered parfait with the parfait base, the cooked pear compote, some raspberries, and some more parfait base. And now we're going to add a little bit of Suzanne's chocolate syrup. Again, this is only rice syrup with chocolate flavoring. So it's not that unhealthy for you, believe it or not. So we're gonna layer that on top, sort of like a sundae. So if you miss chocolate sundaes, this is a good thing to do. And then we have some nice frozen cherries. Since cherries aren't in season right now, we picked them frozen. We're going to put that on top. And so now we have a delicious parfait that is not that bad for you in terms of calories and sugar and additives, and not as cold, so you can have it during the winter as well, but just as sweet and just as delicious. So I'm going to show you a little bit more ingredients that you could layer in your own parfait. I have some cooked dried apricots. These are just dried apricots that are soaked a little bit in apple juice and cooked down until they're soft. I have any kind of nuts you want to use in your parfait are great. These are pecans. You can use pecans, walnuts, chestnuts, almonds. You could roast them and chop them real small, like we did with the walnuts. Also, you can use cocoa powder. Cocoa powder is really nice if you get it organic and fair trade, and you just sprinkle that around on top of your parfait. Or you can cheat and just use sweetened fruit jams. So you don't have to cook any of the fruit for your parfait. You can just get a jar of fruit jam and layer it. And we also have the 2 cereals right now that are good for children. The last 2 cereals actually that don't have sugar, refined additives and chemicals in them. It's Erewhon Corn Flakes and Erewhon Crispy Brown Rice. This is like brown rice, regular Rice Krispies, and these are just like corn flakes, but they don't have any added sugar. You could use those as well to decorate your parfait. Join us for our next episode of Macro Magic. See you next time.